Hello and welcome to another fun-filled nonsense retrospective. I'm your host as always, Rick, and joining me equally as always is Devon.
Hello! I'm always confused when my name's not first, despite it being weird if you said my name first.
Well, fair enough. Well, we can redo it. Devon and Rick are saying hello, hello. Oh, Jesus, that sounds awful, doesn't it?
That's why I sandbagged.
Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, before we get too far into what we're doing today, which is a bit of a retrospective on the Nintendo Switch 1, now that the Nintendo Switch 2 is on the horizon, let's go with the good old time-honored tradition of the nonsense asinine hypotheticals. What have you got for me today?
You come home after a busy day of work, let's just pretend that's a thing for both of us, and you find a creature in your bedroom. What creature from a Nintendo game would you least like to find? This has to be a generic creature, it can't be like Mario or Bowser.
Okay, least like to find... what would be worse than a Re-Dead from Zelda? Probably a like, because those are the like little, jelly tubes that get you, eat you, and then take your items. It's really fucking annoying. Oh, boy.
Obviously, the real-life example would probably be your phone.
Yeah. You just get sucked in, half your health goes away, and it's just got your phone, and you have to kill it to get your phone back. That would be so fucking annoying. Oh, man. Plus, I don't have a sword IRL, and if I did, it would probably be the first thing that it takes. Oh, what a little wanker. I hate them. How about you? What are you picking?
Fromp.
Fromp. Yep.
I'd never be able to use that room again.
No. I am a very large and very rocky fella with a bad attitude who's just going to crush you at some point.
Well, the consolation is, they can't really move, apart from, the obvious motion they can do. The problem is, my house is structurally sound, but I'm pretty sure if a Fromp suddenly descended in my room, it would go through the entire house.
Yeah.
A castle, this is not.
No.
It would just be like my bedroom is now a no-go zone. Probably don't use any of the rooms underneath my bedroom, just in case.
Yeah, it would be rather bothersome.
Bothersome is the word. But anyway, Rick, do you have a question for me?
Well, we're on the dawn of a new Nintendo era, and what is Nintendo if not a company that recycles old games? What's an old Nintendo game that you either enjoyed the first time or missed the first time that you think would do very well as a remaster on the Switch 2?
I mean, you were asking the wrong person, aren't you, Rick? Because I didn't have Nintendo consoles growing up.
Well, that's why I added the things that you missed the first time round.
Yeah, but guess what? The things I missed the first time round look shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because they're from the 80s.
Well, not everything's from the 80s.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of it is.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's one of those where, I can't say Animal Crossing because Animal Crossing gets a new game all the fucking time, and, it's great. I can't say Pokemon Snap because that got a game not too long ago, and it was great.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So, wrong person to ask, really. What about you?
Yeah, the one that I immediately thought of when I was thinking of this question was Eternal Darkness. It's a franchise that was kind of stillborn.
I've actually seen someone do a playthrough of this game, Rick. This game looked incredibly good for the generation it was on. The sanity effects were fucking insane. Pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of thing, I think, would work incredibly well, updated to a new game like that. So, having, notifications pop up faked within the UI would be a nice little way of messing around with the channel hopping that it did in the past.
I think the only game that has attempted to do this since was the original Batman Arkham Asylum, and they did a really, really fucking mean one on the Xbox specifically because they simulated a Red Ring of Death, which is the meanest thing you could fucking do.
Yeah.
Would younger people even know what that is?
Oh, yeah, for younger people. For our younger viewers, the Red Ring of Death was an error code that the Xbox showed you by showing the power light is in red instead of green when part of your PCB had unsoldered from itself and was no longer, a complete unit.
Yeah, and it's called the Red Ring of Death because, hey, guess what? Your Xbox is now fucked.
Your console is dead.
Yeah.
To their credit, they did fix them.
Oh, absolutely, and I'll give credit where credit's due. However, It's one of those. How do you even test for that? Because it's a time issue.
Yeah. Well, apparently the big deal was it ran at the temperature of the sun. So if it would unsolder itself with the heat it had from its own operating temperature. This was the first console generation where, you know, the console itself was loud. And yeah, sometimes people like tried to muffle it by putting the vent up against a wall or whatever. And yeah, that's literally what melted.
Oh, that's such an old person thing, because I've had to explain that to, I'll just say it, my mum a few times of, don't put things, granted for her it's not a big issue because it's like the TV box, the fucking Virgin Media box, and it's like, don't put anything on top of this, that's where the holes are. It needs that to breathe.
Like putting a letter on it, maybe not the worst thing, because letters are not, you know, monolithically heavy, and heat can be conducted. Putting a freaking pillow on top, maybe a little bit smothery.
That's another thing as well, is the broadband hub is in my mother's bedroom.
Yes.
And a complaint she has is that it is very bright at night time, so she puts a pillow on top of it, and I'm like, that's fine, nobody uses the internet at night time, more or less, but can you please take the pillow off it during the day?
Yeah, it might be time to invest in some masking tape.
Yeah, but the problem is the lights tell you if there's something wrong with it, so you can literally just look at it and go, oh, okay, it's not working because it's getting an update, or it's not working because Virgin's shit the bed again, which is a common occurrence.
Enough. Okay, yeah. I've got a piece of duct tape on mine because, like, when the Ethernet goes into the back of it, it immediately, always, permanently lights up.
I mean, fair enough. But anyway, we were talking about Eternal Darkness. I remember one of the insanity effects was it was so well timed because the guy was talking about boss fountains, which, again, if you're unfamiliar, if you play video games, specifically older video games, there'd usually be a room that would just have a ton of resources, and that's because, oh, you're about to fight a boss, so let's make sure you're well equipped. And as he's explaining that, it's because he's entered a room that's just filled with ammunition, and the guy he's playing with just says, are you actually picking this up because the number's not going up? And he presses the pause menu, and then the character starts freaking out and hyperventilating. It's so funny.
Yeah. Man, yeah, some of these are just fantastic. Like, I remember just the basic ones of like flies on the screen, the
sinking into the floor,
the channel changing, and going into your GameCube's UI and erasing the entire memory card. That was a fun one.
That's so mean.
Yeah. It's dumb.
Just to clarify, guys, it didn't actually erase your data. It just made it look like you were.
Yeah, it just played a video of it. Oh boy, yeah, it was dumb. And I could see that working really well as a remaster in time for a sequel, because like it's been so long without one that it would be just a completely stillborn sequel if they did one with no warning or backup. They are doing the Nintendo GameCube throwback collection for people who pay the extra amount for Switch Online, so maybe it's going to get included in that. I know the Pokemon XD games are on there.
It's one of those weird ones where they've got to give you an incentive to pay for their subscriptions because, you know, every other company fucking does. It's a really tempting offer to upgrade the package if you get GameCube games. Yeah,
because the one before that was like Game Boy Advance. Because you could have Game Boy and SNES, no problem. Those came with the basic package.
Yep.
But the upgraded package now has Game Boy Advance, Mega Drive, and gonna be GameCube. Looks interesting.
I'm just waiting for
what the price
DS,
difference is. Oh yeah. Like a lot of the DS stuff just would work if you just turned the Switch sideways.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people use it as a home console, Rick. So you got to think of that as well.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it wouldn't look quite as good on a real screen. On a landscape screen.
I mean, I can tell you that it doesn't because I emulate certain DS games, and it looks really bad on a TV because the screen's so fucking small.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a lot of games on Vim's Lair had takedown notices, but you can still play them in browser.
Yeah, but it's not even Nintendo doing this. The main culprit's fucking EA of all people.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not talk about emulation. Let's do the actual podcast, Rick.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a little bit of a throwback on our top 5 memory games of the Nintendo Switch.
Top 5 memory games? What are you on about?
Well, our memories of the Nintendo Switch in the form of a top 5 of games.
Yeah, but just say top 5 Switch games.
Yeah, we're doing top 5 Switch games.
Oh, goodness. Rick, I've got a question for you. How many of your list are exclusively Switch games?
1, 2, 3.
I've only got 2.
Yeah, I've got 3. One's a remake. One got released outside of the Switch.
I'm not bothered about you can go through it when you go through it. I was just curious.
Yeah. So, what's going to be your number 5?
My number 5 is Undertale.
Yeah! Obviously not released exclusively on the Switch, but it did have a benefit of the Switch, which was you got to fight Mad Mew Mew.
Yeah, I never found that, but I don't think it adds anything to the game. It's just more content, which is fine. More content is good. The reason why I've put it on my list is because the Switch is how I played Undertale.
Yeah. It's also how I played Deltarune.
Yeah, here's the thing: is I was tempted to get Undertale on PC, but the PC version does not support a controller, or at least not the Steam version.
Does it not? Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, the Steam page says it doesn't. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't support a controller full stop, but it usually means it's a pain in the ass to set up.
Sure. Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I got it on the Switch. It's one of the few games that actually went on sale regularly, so I got it for like £6 instead of 12.
Yeah. The gimmick for Mad Mew Mew, if you've not seen it, is that obviously with the other Undertale bosses, your heart becomes a different colour. With Mad Mew Mew, the colour is orange and blue, and it splits your heart into 2 parts, and you get to control 2 halves of your heart with your 2 different control sticks.
Sure. Yeah.
Which I thought was cute.
I mean, yeah, but there's no reason you can't do that with any other version apart from, the PC version, which doesn't have controller support.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they did that for the Switch because the Switch definitely has controller, whereas all the other versions, well, I suppose you would definitely have a controller on the other consoles, but those were just a straight port rather than a personal interest remaster.
I mean, my favourite thing about the PlayStation version is the trophies, because the trophies are written by Papyrus, and the first trophy is I can't remember the exact wording. It's like, have a trophy, this is easy. The second one is like, have another trophy for getting spaghetti. And the third one is, oh no, I'm running out of trophies.
Yeah, sweet.
But yeah, Undertale was fun. It was great. It felt awesome using the Switch. It doesn't really make use of anything specifically to the Switch, like even the gimmick that you mentioned with Mew Mew. It was like, you can do that very easily with other consoles, but it didn't need a gimmick. It's Undertale. It was fun. It was charming, and it doesn't take up a shit zillion gigs, so nice and easy to put on the console itself.
Yeah. Well, when you mention that, actually, I'm actually kind of hoping that they do implement trophies and achievements on whatever in on the Switch too, because that's something I really kind of miss, is just having a little pop-up of, oh yeah, you did the thing.
Well, they do. They're just confined to individual games, though. It's not an overarching account thing. Like, if you play Fire Emblem, there's achievements in Fire Emblem. They're just inside the game.
Yeah. They're not UI-based.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it makes Nintendo stand out not having an achievement system. You can just play the game. Here's the problem with achievements, is if I see achievements, I'm like, I can probably do that. And it makes me sometimes do things that aren't fun.
Yeah, like platinuming a Dark Souls game.
I mean, that's easy for me to do because I'm actually good at Souls, not to brag. Like, the Dark Souls trilogy is incredibly easy to platinum. Dark Souls 1 is a bit of a pain in the ass, but that's because the fucking upgrade system with the stones is retarded.
Yeah, and they made... Well, I think they pretty much... Oh, no, they didn't implement the achievements after the game because the first one came out on Xbox as well. Okay, I'm dumb. But yeah, I was thinking of things like, a lot of things would be retroactively added as achievements.
Yeah, Demon's Souls is the one that got achievements when it got the remake on PS4.
Yeah, PS5. Yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, cause I'd fucking kill people if Animal Crossing had achievements, because it wouldn't be fun anymore, because you'd have to do things.
Yeah, you'd have to do the things that you don't want to do.
Not everybody wants to fill the museum with bugs and fish. I do, but that's because I've got a certain brand of autism.
This side is for my bugs, this side is for my fish, and this little corner is for the shirts that I made that I gave to someone and they threw away immediately.
That's not how the museum works. You just get the thing, you give it to them, and it has a set spot. So thankfully, it doesn't affect certain bros. But yeah,
sure,
anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, I digress. Undertale's a great game. I am glad that it is on my list, and yeah, I'm going to change something on my list for later on because I just remembered Animal Crossing exists.
Well, now.
Yeah. But yes, Rick, what about you? What's your number 5?
My number 5 is a very definitely not an exclusive. It's Dark Souls Remastered.
Okay, yeah, very definitely not.
Yeah. My problem with Souls sometimes is I lose interest when I'm the only person playing it. So the fact that I was able to play with you guys was great. I didn't care about Dark Souls 1 when I bought like the Pet and I edition because I was like basically the only person on it. Yeah, having a multiplayer Dark Souls 1 experience was cute, and Dark Souls 1 is like the oldest one that I've played and the last one that I played. I basically played the games in reverse order. You
did it in a real fucking ass backwards way.
Yeah, like Bloodborne first, then 3, then 2, then 1. Yeah, it was a bit daft of me, but oh well.
Rick,
and yeah, you can...
Gun.
You can see the DNA as things regress, and everything has its own charm still.
Yeah, I was going to say Rick never played Vanilla Dark Souls 2 and does not know the hell that it was.
No, I don't know about having Hyde Knights nowhere near Hyde Tower of Flame all the time.
The Hyde Knight thing is the weirdest one because there's only 3 in the game and they're in 3 different spots. You kill them once and they don't respawn. So you got 3 chances at that gear.
Yep.
The other one is like fucking OG not Dragonary, the one after Dragon Shrine.
Dragon Peak, yeah.
They fucking, the big enemies had no stamina, so they could just keep swinging and keep swinging and keep swinging with no consequences.
Yeah, like, they're already pretty bad for that, but at least the one without the hammer are easy enough to kill. Like, the one with the hammer is, like, my kryptonite. I don't know why.
Because it's got fucking tracking overheads.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the Bart Simpson thing of I'm going to do this with my arms. If you get hit, it's your own fault. But that on a Dark Souls enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Souls 1 is fun. Dark Souls 1 is great. I've done damn near everything in the game thanks to being able to play it with friends. What's going to be your number 4?
My number 4 is Final Fantasy Theatre Rhythm Final Bar Line.
Yeah! I remember when you said you got this when it was on a little bit of a sale, which, is not something that is super common on the Nintendo Switch in general.
I don't know what game you're confusing this with, but that's not what happened.
Was it not? Okay.
No.
Was this one that you bought when it was brand new?
I bought it when it was brand new because I said, we were talking, for some reason, we were talking about VTubers, which is something that happens because you like VTubers.
Yeah.
And you said it was either Ina or Callie is playing Theatre Rhythm. And I went, that game's out, and then I bought it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great game. Very scummy business practice. If you didn't buy the version that cost an extra £10, you lacked certain musical tracks, which wouldn't be a problem. But the musical tracks were fucking Melodies of Life from FF9 and Tazanakind in FF10, which are iconic songs, and to take those out is bullshit.
Yeah, dumb, silly crap.
All because they wanted an extra tenner.
It's like EA all over again. Operation $10.
But yeah, it'd be more than $10, wouldn't it, with £10?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I digress. The game is fun. It's very different from the DS version of the game, which, fair enough, the DS game was very bare bones. The DS game also only had like 6 tracks from Final Fantasy XIV, and then in this one, Final Fantasy XIV had the most songs.
Absolutely.
Well,
I mean, it does. It's got the Guinness World Record for largest OST of any video game so far.
Well, yeah, but it's also an MMO, so it's constantly expanding. So it's one of those.
Yeah, it's 10 years, and every update they add something.
Exactly. Every update they add something. Almost every single trial has a unique piece of music. It was also the most recent game when this game came out.
Sure.
Well, I guess that isn't true because 15 was out, but 15 sucks.
Actually, though.
And then 16 came out after this, and they released DLC with 16's music. And I gotta be honest with you, I was like looking at that and I was going, the music's very unmemorable in 16.
Yeah, like, I know some of it because I just get, I go on autoplay on YouTube Music, and it just feeds me some FF16 remixes that people have made, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I've heard this a couple of times, I know this is FF16, but it doesn't evoke anything in me because I've not played the game.
Yeah, I mean, the music's good, but it's not music I would listen to just to listen to. The music fits the scenes.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know about you, Rick, but I personally think that's a compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Masayoshi Soken. He's like the master of Final Fantasy music on the modern day.
I was going to say, he's the composer nowadays.
Yeah, now that Uematsu has basically retired.
I'm convinced Uematsu is, like, retired, but, like, in quotation marks.
Yeah, like, they keep bringing him back.
Like, he's, like, in the hyperbolic time chamber, and every so often they poke their head in and go, hey, you cooking? He's like, I'm cooking.
Yeah, he's like George Lucas retired. Like, if you ask him if he's doing anything, no. But if you ask him for ideas, he's like, ooh, I've got notes.
I don't think you can ever truly retire as a creative.
No. Like, as long as your brain's still working, something is still being created, even if it never reaches the light of day.
And on that weirdly poetic note, Rick, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is the launch title of the Nintendo Switch, Zelda Breath of the Wild. This basically became the template for so many games going forward.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, you're barking up the wrong tree, because I feel like this really... it's like when Call of Duty fucking kickstarted the first-person shooter craze. Every game wanted to be Breath of the Wild, and I fucking hate this formula.
Yeah. Like, the main reason that Genshin plays the way that it does is because it's basically, we want to make a freemium version of Breath of the Wild.
Well, funny enough is one of the arguments you and another friend made for getting Genshin Impact was it's Breath of the Wild but gacha, and I was like, that doesn't mean anything to me, but if everyone else is doing it...
Yeah, and I was incredibly impressed with Genshin early on, and the only reason I'm not like on the Genshin train anymore is because, well, A, it's kind of scummy, and B,
it's shit.
Yeah, not even that. Like, the multiplayer is awful.
It's shit. The content is crap. It's not a good gameplay loop. It's boring. It's awful. The only... I like that they gave you a little zone that you could make into a little housing place. It was sort of reminiscent of Animal Crossing, but it was also shit. Because it's a gacha game, their only interest is getting you to play it a little bit every day and hopefully spend money and hook whales, which, as you mentioned already, is a scummy business practice. We won't dwell on that any longer. We have an entire podcast dedicated to gacha games. Go look it up. We're very angry in it. And the actual core gameplay loop, it's really bad. It's not good. It's unfun. Any gacha game by its nature has to have a grindy element, and the grinding in this game is boring.
Yeah, I don't like the grind, but I do like the moment-to-moment like interactions.
Meaning?
Like the whole elemental thing, where like you can combine two elements and it makes a reaction, like fire plus wind makes a flame tornado.
Okay, I respect that you like that. However, it's boring.
Fair enough.
Because you have to do it a shit zillion times.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, Breath of the Wild, there are things that I like about it, things that I don't like about it. Basically, the things that I don't like about it are what stops it being higher than number 4 on this top 5 list. The destructible weapons thing is both a blessing and a curse.
Oh, no game should have that.
Yeah, it's there to stop you from just getting complacent gamer syndrome and only using the razor sword that you get from this one, like, guardian early on. But then again, after you've hit things, it just makes them feel like butter.
But here's the thing, is there's a very particular breed of gamer, and everyone, I think, playing games has had this phase. You either always do it, or you eventually get over it and don't do it. And that is, this item is now perishable, which means I should never use it.
Yeah, elixir syndrome.
But I got over this when I was about 13, but I know a lot of people struggle to use limited items.
Yeah. Elixir syndrome is a real bitch, and like I would end up having a bank of extra weapons in my inventory that were good, and I'd just be using the shit ones because I don't care that the shit ones break.
I mean, that's exactly what it is, though. I'm with you on that. I don't think that would affect me nearly as much because, as I said, I trained myself out of it. But It's a very difficult habit to give up.
And then there's one weapon that breaks the trend, and that's the Master Sword.
Well, fucking rightly so.
Yeah. Apparently, before the game, the Master Sword was quite happy to just get used and used and used, and that's what made it so rusty that it was useless. And it ended up needing to heal for quite some time. And now the Master Sword goes, okay, you've used me too much, I'm going to heal for a little bit. Use some other weapons for a while until it regenerates back to full durability again.
Oh, that's kind of lame, but whatever. At least it's permanent.
Yeah. But yes, I really liked the game in general. It was nice to have, character in the game, even though most of the characters were dead. They kind of helped with this, with like the sequels where, you got to speak to Zelda a bit more. You got to do in the Warriors game, you actually got to go into the past and change things around and like.
You don't get to mention stuff in the Warriors game for this game.
Yeah, fair enough. But yes, that's going to be my number 4. What's going to be your number 3?
My number 3 has been bumped down, seeing as I remembered a different game. My number 3 is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah, this is also my number 3. I've bundled 3 hopes and 3 houses together in the same slot.
No, only 3 houses. You don't get to do both.
Okay, well, I'll let you talk about 3 houses and I'll talk about 3 hopes then.
That's very annoying because I could have saved time on the editing, Rick. Damn you.
Tee-hee.
Three Houses is great. Three Houses is a game that it didn't stealth drop by any means, but I was like, I don't really care about Fire Emblem at the moment because the last game was Fire Emblem's If, and it wasn't very. It was fine, but it left a sour taste in the mouth how they released that game, and it wasn't the best plot wise. And I was like, I'll give a miss on Fire Emblem Three Houses. And then a mutual friend of ours said it was basically Persona but Fire Emblem, and I went, oh, okay, it probably isn't. And I don't think it's an accurate description, but it's a pretty good one for broad strokes.
Yeah, like the fact that you have your time management is the your overworld mechanic for the game, instead of, going around on a map, is a pretty good way of interpreting the Persona formula.
Yeah, and the zone is big.
It is. I didn't know until I was 3/4 of the way through the game that you could run in that zone.
Rick, it's on the bottom of the screen at all times.
Okay.
Who looks at the bottom of the screen, Rick says. This is going to be a problem of you using handheld mode and the screen being small, isn't it?
Yeah, so I don't think it's actually on the handheld. So I'm looking in the middle of the screen and looking at things, and also just enjoying my time in Garreg Mach because, the music there is very relaxing.
Yeah, but if I've got 10 NPCs I need to talk to, Rick.
Yeah, you can teleport to them, but yeah. Teleport to Bernie's house. I'm pretty sure she's incredibly annoyed that there is a teleport point near her home.
Oh, most people ignore her, it's fine. Yeah, I honestly think that Three Houses might be the best Fire Emblem that I've played story-wise. I think this game suffers from the lack of map diversity. A lot of the maps are very simplistic. This is a problem that gets fixed in the Ashen Walls DLC, but that's only a series of 6 maps? Yeah,
the most memorable maps I think from Three Houses are things like in the catacombs where you've got to do bullshit with the maze and go round corners and open doors and all that shit.
Catacombs?
When you're in that kind of maze and the Black Knight is in the middle, the Death Knight is in the middle, and he's just there saying, yeah, you can come challenge me if you like. And if you don't, he just fucks off.
Yeah, it's not really a maze, though.
Yeah, well, you got the teleporters, you got the doors, but that's the only one that's not just an open zone.
Oh, okay, you're talking about the one where Flame's just been kidnapped, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you have a choice in that one. I think you do have to fight the Death Knight in that one.
That might be the time where you do have to fight him. The other times you can just leave him alone.
Yeah, because the other time it's a catacomby type map. It's got this sort of vibe, but it's a very open map, and the Death Knight's just in the center. And if you enter his aggro range, he will fight you, but it's very easy to just go around him.
Yeah. And if you got Lysithea, you're probably going to kick his ass.
Just mages in general are pretty strong in this game.
Yeah, but Lysithea in particular has got horsefucker.
Okay, sure. Fire Emblem Three Houses is fun plot-wise. I think I honestly adored every single character. I know you don't don't agree with this, Rick, and that's fine. We're allowed to disagree on certain things. But I actually enjoy not recruiting students from the other houses per route because it makes the story hit 10 times harder.
Yeah, so I felt like I got most of the experience from my one route playthrough. I feel like I wouldn't have as much fun not having Edelgard on my team and playing the other routes, which is a massive downside in that I don't get the other bits of story, but also it means I don't have to play the first 2/3 of the game again.
Yeah, but those first 2/3 go by really easy, especially if you've... Because when you go into New Game Plus, you have points that you carry over, and you can just unlock stuff you unlocked previously. So, hey, do you want Edelgard to have... Well, okay, Edelgard's a bad example, because she's very much locked to one route. But, like, hey, do you want to recruit Ferdinand and have him already be a Great Knight? So this time you can spec him into a mage, but have Great Knight abilities already unlocked. Here you go.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can just, like, straight up mash someone straight to B rank, which is what you need to automatically recruit them, isn't it?
Well, you could do that as well, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, some people have a bypass, like Sylvain. If you're the female main character, he'll automatically join you because he's horny.
Yeah, Sylvain is... A lot of the characters are two-dimensional because Fire Emblem has to, because it has a big cast, but I really don't like the I'm a pervert trope.
Yeah. Like, they try and make it better in Three Hopes, but they try and make a lot of things better in Three Hopes.
The annoying thing about Sylvain is they wrote him incredibly well because you can see why he thinks the way he does, but it doesn't mean I like the character trope anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like when he gets shit for it as well. Like when Ingrid talks about when he flirted with her grandma.
Okay. However, I like older ladies, so I get it.
Yeah. Like, you flirted with my dear sweet granny, and he's like, she was a fox.
But yeah, Three Houses is great. As I said, plot great, maps kind of lacking. And the maps lacking really is highlighted when they released Engage. The reason why Engage isn't on my list is, honestly, Engage was a very fun game. I don't think it was as good.
No. I don't think it was as good because of the weaker story, which really goes to show that, like, you can value story more than gameplay and quality of life.
Yeah. And also, Three Houses fucking letting you just spec however the fuck you want was a great fucking change. I hope they go back to that system.
Yes.
But yes, I think I've waxed lyrical enough about Three Houses. We had 2 podcasts on it. That's how good of a game it was.
Yeah. As for Three Hopes, this takes all of the setting of Three Houses and gives it the Muso format. I think the Switch is a great format for something like a Muso, where you can just pick it up, piss about, turn your brain off, kill 1,000 dudes, and feel good about yourself. I have like 3 Muso games on the Switch.
Zelda twice and Warriors and Emblem, right?
Yeah, 4 actually. Then so I've got 2 Zelda games and 2 Fire Emblem games.
Okay, the first Fire Emblem one was bad.
It was. It was bad. Like the three Hopes one is way better because it has a story. I think they took the idea of the Story Warriors game and thought, what if we did this with Fire Emblem? And they did a bad one, and then they did the Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild version where it was like unified and had a actual story based on an existing world, and they went, oh yeah, this is way better. And they did that for Three Hopes.
I do want to point out, it's very weird how Tecmo Koei really fumbled the ball with that first Fire Emblem Warriors, because Tecmo Koei worked on Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yes, yeah. Oh boy, it's dumb.
Now, I want to point out, I'm a big fan of Tecmo Koei because I play a lot of their Warriors games. I love Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Nobunaga's Ambition is kind of air, but I appreciate it for what it is. They're real fucking flip-floppy with their hits and misses. Even in the same franchise, Dynasty Warriors almost universally goes good game, bad game, good game, bad game.
It's like Windows. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. This is the one where I actually did do all the routes. And I don't know what the difference is. I think it's because the divergence point is a lot sooner.
Which almost instant in Three Hopes. It's like you do 2 maps and then it's like, cool, pick a house, this is what you're doing.
Yeah, and your school phase is very short because then it goes to the interim war phase, which is like 3 years instead of 5 years time skip.
Well, yeah, because the whole idea is, like, this is an alternate universe where Byleth didn't join the monastery, so that shit never happened.
Yeah, so Byleth doesn't join as a teacher, and your MC joins as a student. But you are essentially your chosen lord's ace.
Yeah, fuck you, Hubert.
Yep. Well, I think it's really good in Black Eagles because you immediately go and rescue what's her face, the one that Kronya ends up impersonating.
Yeah, it's a very interesting change.
Yeah, and like she even says, "Oh, if Lady Edelgard wanted me to die and it would be useful to her, then I would have no problem with doing with it." Don't do this. Don't do this. You're cute.
I do really hate that character though, because it's just you don't value your life even slightly. Fucking, you suck. And
yeah,
I know there's people in reality who think like that, and I don't mean you suck as a person, but be better. And I know that might not be easy, and it might sound like a shitty thing to say, but I hope my intent is clear.
Yeah, be a better self. Yeah.
I don't know, just give a shit. Like, and I know sometimes that's difficult, but like, I'm not talking to any particular person. I'm just saying this character trope sucks.
Yeah, although it is funny to see her interact with Hubert about who simps more.
It's her.
Yeah, yeah.
Hubert is a dedicated servant, but he doesn't come off as a simp. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, he simps incredibly hard. Like, you have to work incredibly hard to not get Hubert and Edelgard to pair up.
Yeah, but at the same time, if someone else pairs up with Edelgard, he doesn't fucking be a bitch about it, is my point.
Yeah, whereas she does. Yeah, freaking Monica. But yeah, I found the Black Eagles actually rather rewarding because yeah, she immediately goes, yeah, we don't need the Dark Lurkers anymore. We're gonna be good guys now.
Can I just say as well, it really fucking bothers me that they're the Black Eagles.
Yeah, because they're red.
I get it, the eagle is black on their flag, but the blue lions aren't a blue lion.
Yeah, it's gold.
The golden deers aren't gold or yellow.
Yeah, that's black as well, isn't it?
I think it's actually brown, but yeah.
Is it brown? Yeah, the brown. Yeah, so it'd be the golden lion and the brown deer.
It would just be deer, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the deer. Oh dear. Yeah. So I just really liked this game, and what's going to be your number 2?
My number 2 is what bumped Three Houses down on my list. It is Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I can't remember the suffix for the fucking Switch game, but the Switch one. I think it's New Horizons.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's Animal Crossing through and through. I absolutely love this game. This game came out during the peak of COVID in the UK, in that we had proper lockdown restrictions. I was off work for about 8 weeks because my work gave me that amount of time off because I had someone in my household with a super compromised immune system.
Yeah. It just came out at like the perfect time for people to have something where they could relax and feel like they were part of, a community again.
I mean, there was also this really fun post on Reddit, which it wasn't even a post, it was like a reply in a massive comment chain of, so it could be bollocks, it might not be real, but I choose to believe it was real because it was amusing. And it was like, I'm a therapist and people keep mentioning this game.
Yeah. So I remember this as well. It was like I spoke to my therapist and they went, "Oh yes, the one with the little animals. I feel like I've played it," from the number of people that have talked about this.
Yeah. So Animal Crossing is Animal Crossing is just fun and relaxing anyway, because there's no pressure to do anything. Yes, you've got a loan from Tom Nook. Doesn't matter how long it takes you to pay it off. I usually pay off the first one in the first day because it's a ridiculously low sum of money.
Yeah.
But I also play video games, so when I settle in for that first session of Animal Crossing, I'm probably playing for 6 hours. Is that healthy? No. Do I give a fuck? Do I?
Yeah, I love how Tom Nook gets a bad rap for being evil and all that, but dude gives you a house.
To be fair, you start with a tent in this game.
Do you? Okay.
But he also lets you pay off your first loan with Nook points instead of money.
Sure.
So yeah, it's very easy to pay that off and you get a house very quickly. And it's just really fun and relaxing to turn your island into whatever the fuck you want. Like, you can import custom designs, you can share designs you've made, you can really put things in this game that shouldn't be in this game, you know? Like, I downloaded someone's design for a WWE title belt display, which was just a hat.
Yeah.
But you put it at the right angle, looks like a title belt. It's great.
Yeah. I remember a friend of ours did, reset their island a fair few times until they got one with an island in the middle of a river that they put puddles on.
Which is really, really funny, because you can just terraform in this game.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing you could...
I think they didn't know that you could terraform quite so easily.
I mean, it takes a while to get to that stage, but if you... I don't time travel in Animal Crossing. I know some people get really weird about it and go, no, you do that, you're cheating. I don't care. It's your game. You play it however you want. Like, have fun. I don't time travel because I want to do the day-to-day, not grind, but I want to unlock things normally. So it took a while to get terraforming, but when you get it, the world is your oyster. The only thing you can't change is you can't change the position of the airport, and you can't change the two mouths to the river in your island.
Sure. Okay.
You can have it so you've got barely a river in your island. You can have no running water at all apart from the mouths of the rivers. You shouldn't do that because then you don't have river fish, but whatever.
Sure, yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I very early on I had a massive orchard of trees that weren't native to my island because you get 500 bells per piece of fruit. So I made a lot of money. However, it was also a real pain in the arse to harvest that.
Yeah, so you ended up putting them in like a really easy to harvest line.
I can't stress this enough. I had a lot of trees, a lot of fruit trees. Once I made enough money that I was just like, I'm not going to have to worry about money for a while. I just got rid of all of them except for 5.
Sure, yeah, there's one unique one of each type.
And yeah, it's great. It's great fun. Like I said, I enjoy filling the museum. I enjoy catching fish and catching bugs just for the fun of it. I enjoy making my island look pretty. It's just a fun time.
Yeah, the only Animal Crossing I've actually played is the one on the GameCube.
Yeah, and that one's going to be ancient as fuck and probably have quite a few flaws.
Yeah, however, it does have the benefit of some of the villagers are assholes. So they actually have an amount of personality instead of all just loving you no matter what.
And you still got arseholes, they're just not arseholes.
Sure.
Like jocks and preppy bitches are still arseholes, they're just not like stealing your shit. But anyway, Rick, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Bravely Default 2.
You suck. Go ahead.
This was released on the PC later as well, but for a while it was a Switch exclusive. I love the Bravely series. Bravely Default 1 is getting a remaster with the Switch 2. I'm not going to buy it because I've already played to death that game. But I will always buy a new game in the series.
Yeah, I don't like the core mechanic of Bravely Default. It's an interesting idea, but it's not for me.
Yeah, just that you can store up turns to unleash them all in one go. So it plays with like Red Mage, for instance, usually has the dual cast mechanic, and in this they revamp it to be it plays around with the brave points that you generate more by getting hit or by critting or something. But yeah, the other thing is usually there's a time mechanic. In this one, there kind of isn't, and that's a little bit refreshing.
Okay.
So you don't go back in time this time. You don't loop. They just put a little bit more emphasis on the asterisks themselves, which are the job crystals, as it were.
Sure. I'm sorry, I can't really contribute much to this. It's one of those where you said time travel, and it genuinely melted my brain for a second. So that's why I was like, sure.
Yeah. There's no time travel this time. Then I think that makes it a more cohesive story.
Well, yeah, just having time travel in your story automatically makes the plot kind of bollocks.
Yeah, because in the first game, it meant, oh man, all this shit you did the first time round, none of it matters because you time traveled.
Yay!
They did it way better in the second, and then because you only do it once. But yes, Bravely Default 2 is my number 2. I enjoyed that game. It wasn't the best RPG in the universe ever, but I really enjoyed it. What's going to be your number 1?
My number 1 is going to be new Pokemon Snap.
Ah, yes! Well, as you said, they've released a new one, and it was good.
It was incredibly good. Now, I want to point out, I never played the original original Pokemon Snap for obvious reasons. I didn't have that console. I always looked at it and I went, that's a cool idea. That's neat. I like that. When they announced a new one, I was like, I'm buying this game. And it didn't disappoint. It's basically an on-the-rails shooter, but with a camera.
Yeah, and unlike a normal Pokemon game, you don't have to chuck balls.
No, but you can lob apples at Pokemon's heads and they fucking don't like it.
Yeah. It's 10 times funnier as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's a lot funnier in the original game, because if you whacked them on the head with an apple, they'd get fucking hurt, and the Mankey got pissed.
Yeah. Like, a lot of the time, that was how you got them to evolve in real time as well. Like, you got them angry, and some of them evolve. Like the Magikarp. If you hit the Magikarp, it goes into the waterfall, goes up it, and then comes out as a Gyarados.
Yeah, but I think that's with a specific item, not the apple.
Okay.
But yeah, new Pokemon Snap added a bunch of stuff. Like, there was 4 poses you had to catch each Pokemon in. So each Pokemon has got 4 poses that you can get points on.
Sure. So like face on, sleeping, running, attacking kind of thing.
I couldn't tell you the exact things, but there's 3 like generic ones where I think one is movement, one is eating, one is standing still, and the 4th one is special/unique. So like usually it's an attack animation.
Sure. Okay.
But sometimes it's like chasing another Pokemon. So I think you can get one of like a Pidgey, and it's trying to eat a Caterpie.
Yeah. I like this. And when they first did this, like the other game that had it was I think it was not Dead Space. It wasn't Dead Island.
I can't help you here, Rick. Are you talking about the Frank West game?
Yeah, that one.
That's not even comparable.
Yeah, he had some good old camera
Dead Rising.
shenanigans that you could do. Dead Rising, yeah. Some camera shenanigans. I remember there was a little comic of someone doing a comparison between that and Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, it's not great, because the Dead Rising one is you just take a picture and it circles certain elements and gives you points based on those. So I think it's like gory, horror, erotica.
Yeah.
And that was like getting cleavage and vaginas.
Yeah. Show Bobs and Vagine.
But yeah, I really like new Pokemon Snap. I spent a lot of time on this. Not nearly the same amount of time as Animal Crossing, and as near and dear as Animal Crossing is to my heart, Pokemon Snap had a goal.
Yeah.
I'm very weird, because I love Animal Crossing, but in general, I don't like sandbox or open world games, because it's not precise enough, you know?
I get you.
Like, this game is on rails, and you've got a very definite goal. It's take a picture of every single Pokemon in the world, and do it in these 4 different poses, get as high a score possible. What more could you want for a goal?
Yeah, it's literally catch 'em all, but this time on film.
And if you really want to, you can just beat the plot and be done with the game. You don't have to do anything else. But where's the fun in that?
Yeah, you don't have to take a picture of Jirachi, but but it is there.
I don't think Jirachi's in that game. I think Celebi's the big one.
Okay.
No, not even Celebi. No, the fucking hedgehog.
Oh, Shaman.
Yeah, it's very small and green and difficult to see.
Very cute.
Name descriptors for my penis. Small, green, difficult to see.
Yeah, you need to scrub that.
Oh, that's great. I love that. Rick, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is also a Pokemon game, and just like you, it's not a mainline one. It's Pokemon Legends Arceus. This is the one that I think is the most innovative Pokemon game they've done in a long time.
Do you want to remind the audience why I'm not a fan of this?
It's because it's open world and meandery.
It's not even that. No, I've not played the game. I didn't know it was open world. It's because, unlike most people, I don't want innovation in my Pokemon games. If it is innovating, I want it to be baby steps. I like classic Pokemon. I don't want it to change. It's like if they made a remake or remaster. No, not remaster, that's the wrong word. If they made a remake of Final Fantasy IX and they make it an action RPG. I hate you, Square. Stop it.
But I think most of the things that they did that were innovative were like good. The one thing that is kind of bad is the battle system, in that they changed too much things in the battle system to make it compatible with the regular games. But everything else is kept enough the same that it works with the normal system. Like, they remove abilities apart from for Regigigas, because Regigigas was too good without his shit ability. And they the main thing is it's turn-based rather than everyone getting their own turns. So it's like FF10. You can take swift actions and get your next turn sooner.
But I don't like that in a Pokemon game.
Yeah, it was not great. you could have swift moves that were weaker and got your next turn quicker, and strong moves that were stronger and you got your next turn later. Hyper Beam, for instance, was automatically strong, so you could do a very strong Hyper Beam and then skip 3 turns.
Yeah, that seems fair, though. I don't like this mechanic for Pokemon. However, if you're going to do it, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that is basically a death sentence. Because you're probably not even going to kill something when you do that.
Well, you will if, like, you've already weakened it. Like, assume Hyper Beam is just not an opening move.
Yeah. But, like, it was the great combination of sandbox and goal. It had a story. The story was not super in-depth, but it was kind of you're surviving against the elements and Pokemon in general and things going wrong rather than there being like a specific antagonist, really.
Sure.
Which I kind of get. I kind of dig it, to be honest. And the other one thing was, like, you do have the goal of catching all the Pokemon. You are given this goal by Arceus. And you don't have to, but if you do, you get Arceus.
Well, it's one of those weird ones, isn't it? Where, like, it's been a trend with the most recent modern mainline Pokemon games, where the antagonist, there isn't really an antagonist. Like in Pokemon Sword and Shield, yeah, the antagonist was technically the director guy, but he was more a misguided idiot. And in Scarlet and Violet, the evil team Flare are just a bunch of hooligans that are having fun, and the actual main bad guy isn't a bad guy. It's just an AI's gone a bit dodgy in the primal zone, so go there and fix it.
Yeah, and the AI doesn't even want to be dodgy. The AI wants to help you, and it's only when it gets overridden that it fights you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I guess in the DLC you've got Kieran, and you made that villain yourself.
And Kieran's just a shit kid, and that's fine. But like, he's not a villain. He's just the leader, the champion of the new zone. It's just because, like, look back at Pokemon Red and Blue, where the Team Rocket is there throughout, and they're an outright villainous organization kidnapping Pokemon and being dicks. Pokemon Gold, same deal, still Team Rocket. Ruby and Sapphire, you got fucking Team Aqua and Magma.
Magma and Aqua.
Granted, they're not like villains, as in like actual criminals, but they are eco-terrorists.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like they work really well as like villainous teams that are against each other, because you can see yourself working with either of them if either of them dialed it back even slightly enough to help the good guys, you know?
I absolutely adore Ruby and Sapphire because both teams are so dumb. Because what is your actual plan, sir? I want to cover the world in water. The world will die. I want to get rid of all water. The world will die. What is your problem? Are you idiots? Oh, right, yeah, you are.
Yeah. They're all stupid. It's great. From my point of view, Kyogre is surrounded by land.
That's so stupid.
Oh, it's dumb though. Yeah. You do have your own little Team Rocket in this. They're like these 3 bandits that keep harassing you and like stealing like individual Pokemon from the other people.
Wouldn't it be wild if a Pokemon game had the balls to have the villain team be one outright villainous and dicks and actually succeed and take one of your Pokemon? Bonus points, it's your starter.
I mean, yeah, exactly. That'd be a fantastic way of getting you to, or like forcing you to bond with like your second Pokemon that you get.
Yeah, I'm not saying like they have it permanently, but like the middle chunk of the game after like Gym 4, you have a nap and you lose your starter until you do a dungeon. And grant in the more recent games, it's not even that big of a deal either because XP share works in a better way.
Yeah, and you probably have access to your PC box and you can just fill it up with shit that you've been chucking balls at.
Well, ever since Pokemon fucking Platinum and Pearl, Diamond and Pearl, I've been just catching everything because I like filling the Pokedexes. So, like, halfway through the game, I probably have 3 boxes for the Pokemon anyway.
Yeah, I think that was a shift in my mentality. Again, it was probably around when around like Gen 3 or Gen 4 that I went from going, oh, I don't care about this Pokemon, I'm not even going to catch it, to why wouldn't I catch it? All it's going to cost me is $200 Pokédollars.
Yeah, Yeah. And like Sword and Shield was the first game where I actively was just like, you know what? I should have my team be filled with nothing but new Pokemon.
Yeah, well, I've tried to do that pretty much exclusively since, like, Gen 3, because you couldn't really do it in Gen 2, because, like, the amount of Johto Pokemon in Johto is very small. It's like your starter and Marill, and that's about it.
The bird.
Yeah.
Zigzagoon.
Yeah, Hoot. Zigzagoon's Gen 3.
Fuck.
But yeah, Sentret.
Oh, yeah, okay, so Sentret sucks. Does Sentret even evolve?
Yeah, Ferret.
Okay, I was getting it confused with the fucking beaver thing.
Yeah, Bidoof.
No, different beaver. It looks sort of Marill-shaped, but it's brown.
Oh, what, Squavit?
I don't know.
That's a squirrel.
I can't remember, but there is a Pokemon that looks Marill-shaped. It's a bit squirrel/beavery, and it's brown. It's not Bidoof, because that evolves into Bibarel.
Yeah, Squavit into Greedent.
No, that's a squirrel. No, I'm thinking of something else. It doesn't have an evolution.
Oh, okay. The one that is just a squirrel, Pachirisu?
No, that's electric. It's a normal type. Rick, we're not going to get anywhere. I will look up a list after we finish the podcast and I have access to my keyboard, and I will point to you the Pokemon that I'm talking about. But we're not going to do it right here on air, and I apologise to everyone who might be listening and pulling their hair out. Either at me for providing a poor description, or Rick for not getting it.
Yeah. Marill, it's Marill, fucking Marill.
It's not Marill, that's water.
Yeah, I love Marill.
And it's blue.
It's water type and it's blue.
Look at this, you've given this pigeon depression. You've ruined a perfectly good bird. I don't know what that's from, but it's so funny.
But yes, that's our top 5 of Nintendo Switch games. You've got the comment section. You've got the comment section on YouTube. You've got the comment section on Spotify. But if you're not on either of those and listening via one of the audio platforms that is not Spotify, you can send an email in which you could tell us what were your favourite thoughts about your Nintendo Switch journey. You can send an email to
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. That's right, send us an email or a comment and let us know what your favourite Switch game was. And please keep it light.
Yeah. But you can tell us about things you didn't like as well. Those are interesting thoughts too. But yes, if you have a insightful, funny, or just interesting enough comment, we'll read it out.
Yeah, but guys, just bear in mind, if you send something that you wouldn't read out on a podcast that could potentially reach millions, we probably won't read it out either.
Yeah, that too, yeah. Oh, I'm thinking it's just Marge of kids. Can you lighten up a little?
We'll see you again next week, guys.
Bye, everybody.